Namaste, I am Juliet, welcome to class. I've actually designed this class with me in mind. This is gentle yoga for busy mums. I am a yoga teacher, but even before that, first and foremost, I am a mom of two small children. They're very young, so I'm exhausted a lot of the time. I often get lower backache. My arms could do with a bit of TLC, so this is designed for anyone with small children. Hopefully this will leave you a little bit more revitalized and rejuvenated and stretching out, having stretched out those kind of stiff parts of the body that get used a lot when you're looking after small children, or indeed if you are a carer. You can also take this class if you are wanting something a little more gentle. Before we get started, please make sure you've got a couple of props with you. You can probably get away with a book if you've got a blanket with you, so a nice thick book or a couple of thick books if you don't have a block. I've got my bolster here just because I always love having it to hand. You don't need to practice this with a mat. If you don't have one, a towel will do. So let's get started. First of all, come to lie on your back, which is such a lovely thing to do as a mother, because guess what, we rarely get to do it. So just come to lie on your back, and just taking a few breaths here, and enjoying that feeling of having a flat back. We often get quite a pronounced lumbar curve in the lower back because we're bending down a lot, or indeed we're rounding the lumbar from bending down and lifting up children. So just enjoy that nice flat feeling and start to engage in the lower belly. So that place, kind of 2 fingers down from the belly button, and just gently tilt the hips a little bit and flatten that lumbar curve down so it's nice and straight. And likewise, you can bring the chin into the chest to lengthen the back of the neck as well. Such a nice feeling here. The knees can drop together and the soles of the feet down to the mat. Doesn't really matter where your feet are at the moment. But just gently flattening that lumbar and starting to engage in the lower tummy. This is also quite useful if you've got a little tummy coming out after having 2 children. And also it's a nice time, if you'd like to do some Kegels, squeeze in that pelvic floor, lifting it in and up as well. Just taking a few breaths here. Maybe you want to make a connection with yourself, placing one hand on the tummy, feeling the rise and fall of that tummy, and maybe one hand on the heart. Just enjoying that feeling of being held by the ground, being held by Mother Earth. As you just carve out some time just for you, just this short amount of time. Start to get in tune with the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, if that's possible for you. Just watching the breath and parking all the thoughts to one side for these few moments. Letting go of any need to fix or do or care for anything apart from yourself, just for this class. It is only a short class, remember. Body's feeling relaxed and encouraging a feeling of physically letting go. Again, continue to watch the breath. And then when you're ready, you don't need to blink the eyes open if they were closed. You can just bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to come out. And what's really nice, if this is a little bit too intense for you, you can make fists with your hands and place the fists, just wedge them in kind of near your buttocks so that your thighs are slightly resting on your fists. And at the same time, this brings your shoulders down, which is quite nice. So you can feel a stretch maybe on the side of the neck, top of the shoulder. And also you're supporting your your thighs, so there's not too much of a stress or stretch on the inner thighs if they're a little bit stiff, a little bit tight. Of course, you don't have to do this. You could always just allow the knees to flop open and maybe place the hands either on the tummy to reinforce a connection with yourself, or you could even place them on the thighs, or just flat on the mat. Totally up to you. There's no right or wrong. Do whatever feels good, whatever feels right in this moment for you. Now, with all the moving around, I tend to get quite tight hips. So this is a lovely little hip opener. It stretches out the outer hamstrings a little bit, bizarrely, but fundamentally the inner thighs, the adductors. I'm just taking a few breaths here. Maybe another place you could place the hands is overhead. If you want to grab opposite elbows, if that feels nice, to stretch out the front side of the body a little bit, and also have a little bit of a stretch on the underside of the arms. This can feel good too. If you've got really tight shoulders, you may find this challenging. You can always get a blanket and place it on the top of you here, above your head, and then rest your arms on the blanket. If that helps relieve the tightness in the shoulders, but then still maintaining a bit of a stretch in the upper body. So really allow the knees to feel nice and heavy, being weighed down here. And then when you're ready, using your hands, bring the knees in together. Slowly. And then crossing the right leg over the left. Bring the knees in towards you for a kind of lying shoelace. Yeah, so you can grab the calves or just underneath the knees. If that feels good, getting a nice little stretch here. The outer right hip. We'll just take 5 breaths here, inhaling. Exhale, 1. Breathing in. So really push that lumbar spine into the floor for 2. Inhaling, we're still lengthening the back of the neck for 3. Breathing in. Breathing out, 4. Inhale. And exhale, 5. And then release the knees over to the left. But you may want to shimmy the hips to the right, just for a little bit here. And then cactus out the arms, or you can just have the arms wide. I've got the sofa in the way, so I'm going to cactus them. And then allow that right shoulder to drop down as you twist and enjoy that really nice stretch on your back. Supine twists, line twists are really great for resetting the back. Got a nice diagonal stretch across the back. The back is a key factor. It plays a key role in child raising. So we're going to take 5 more breaths here, inhaling. And then exhale, feeling relaxed. 1. Breathing in. Maybe you want to gaze over the right shoulder. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Breathing in. Breathing out, 4. Breathing in. Breathing out for 5. So inhale, bring the legs to center. And then uncross them, or just cross them the other way, and take this on the other side. So you may feel a little different on this side for a lying shoelace here again. The feeling is going to be in the outer left hip this time. So 5 breaths here. You can rock from side to side if that feels good too. Inhaling. Exhale, 1. Breathing in. Rest of the body is relaxed for 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Breathing in. Breathing out, 4. Last breath, make it count, really nice big breath. And then exhale, 5, let it go, and let the knees go to the right this time, and you may want to move the hips out to the left so that you're stacking your hips, yeah? And then cactusing out the arms, maybe gazing over the left shoulder. And allow the left shoulder to sink down to the mat, release any tension that you may be holding on the face, around the jaw, the third eye, your brow, eyebrow. Make sure everything's nice and soft, maybe wiggle the jaw from side to side. Inhaling. Exhale, 1. Breathing in. Breathing out, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. 2 more breaths. 4. Last one. And 5. Inhale, bring your knees into the chest. Arm across them. And then you're going to rock up to sit. Just come straight into a boat pose if you can, bringing the shins parallel to the floor. So this is a nice way of engaging in that lower tummy and also strengthening the back, yeah? So we don't want to round the lumbar, we want to lift up and out of the hips. 5 breaths, inhaling. Exhale, 1. And breathing in. Breathing out, 2. So really engage the core. Lifting the chest, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Last breath. Exhale, 5, and release the feet down. Give yourself a great big hug. Forehead to knees. And now we're going to take the legs behind us and come into a tabletop position. And from here, just take some rounds of cat-cow all in your own time. So inhaling, dipping the chest, lifting up the tailbone, shoulders back. And then exhale, rounding the spine, chin comes into the chest. So noticing these areas of stiffness here. And then exhale, really appreciating them, especially as you articulate the spine. Inhaling, tailbone lifts, shoulders back, gazing up slightly. And then exhale, chin into chest as you stretch the back side of the body. One more, inhaling. And exhaling. Now we're going to do a little forearm stretch. So take the fingers behind you. So the pinky fingers are kind of staring at each other, your little fingers. And then just move forward and back to stretch out the forearms. Another place that gets very stiff from carrying children or bags or anything to do with kids. Just rocking forward and back gently as you enjoy this lovely stretch. Okay, and then fingertips facing forward. Again, we're going to stretch out the calf muscles. So tucking under the right toes, sending that right heel back for 1. So you're gazing in between your hands to elongate the back of the neck, yeah? Inhale. Exhale, 2. Breathing in, maybe you want to just gently wiggle the hips back for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Return that right knee down, tuck under the left toes and send that left heel back for 1. Inhaling. Exhale, 2. Breathing in, so you're still pushing, stretching out the back side of the body around the shoulders for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Last breath. Exhale, 5. Left knee comes down. Just tuck under the toes here, so make sure all the toes are facing forward. Then we're going to come and sit on the heels for a little toe squat, which stretches out the feet and the ankles. It's a really delicious stretch here. Don't worry, we're not going to stay here for too long. Just 5 breaths here. Maybe you need to help your toes point forward. This is a lovely, lovely stretch if you don't find the shoes that comfortable. 3 more breaths here, rolling the shoulders back and down, chin parallel to the floor. Inhale, growing tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, 1. Inhaling. Exhale 2. Breathing in. Breathing out for 3. And then come forward and then just wiggle the toes, get some blood moving back into them. And then when you're ready, tuck under the toes again. And then through a child's pose, we're going to lift the hips up, and you can keep the knees as bent as you need if they are feeling a little stiff. And then in your downward facing dog, just walk out the dog, extending opposite heels down. Making sure you're not holding onto any tension in the neck. Nodding the head, yes, no. Fluttering the lips maybe. If you can. So downward facing dog. So from here, inhaling, lifting the right leg up to the sky, point the foot, and then opening up the hips so the right knee points up. Get a nice big stretch in the hip flexor here. And then when you're ready, back to a 3-legged dog, and then bringing yourself forward, and then making your way into pigeon here. Really, really nice. So inhale, lifting the torso up, and then exhale, coming forward if you can. So your right knee is bent and your right shin is at about a 45-degree angle. If you can get it parallel to the front of the mat, go for it. But my hips are quite tight and not that mobile. So I'm just going to keep it nice and bent at about a 45-degree angle here. Let's see if you can come down to forearms maybe. Or if you can bring your forehead down to the mat, you can also do that. Stay here for 5 breaths. Inhaling. Exhale 1. Breathing in. Breathing out 2. Inhaling. Exhale 3. And as you breathe in, really balloon the lungs, increasing their volume. And then exhale, sink that chest down a little bit more. Last breath. And then exhale, sink a little deeper into that stretch in the outer right hip. 4, 5. Inhale, walking the hands towards you, and then tucking under the left toes, and then reaching that right leg all the way up and back. And then you're back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that left leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog, then point the foot, and then bend the knee and open up the hip just for a breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale back to a 3-legged dog, and then exhale, bring the weight forward into a plank, and then place that left knee around the left palm. Shimmy the hips back a little bit. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and then exhale, fold forward into your pigeon on the other side. Again, a really lovely juicy stretch here in pigeon. Inhale. Exhale 1. Breathing in, maybe you can get the forehead down here. Exhale 2. You can also create a pillow for your forehead with your palms. Inhale. Exhale 3. Enjoy this time to yourself. Really connect with that center point of the pose, that outer right hip. It's just you and your body now. No kids around. 5. Inhaling, slowly walking the hands towards you, coming up, tucking under the right toes, stretching that left leg back and up, and then back into a downward facing dog. Inhale a breath, and then exhale, let it go, lifting the tailbone, working on getting those heels down. If you want to have a little wiggle here, or try and extend the heels down, you can. And then when you're ready, inhaling, you're going to ripple forward into a plank, and then exhale, drop the knees, and then bring the body all the way down. We're going to do some back strengthening poses. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up, just hover the hands off the floor, legs zip together for 1. So you're in a low cobra. Inhale, exhale 2, breathing in, breathing out 3, inhaling, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, just come down, wiggle the hips from side to side to release the lower back. And then we're going to do one more of these, but on your back. So we're going to flip over, come into a little glute bridge. So So we're going to do the same thing, squeeze the glutes and lift the hips this time. So we're going to just do it the other way around. So bring the soles of the feet in towards you so that you can brush them with your fingertips. And then on an inhale, using that same core action that we did right at the beginning of the class. So tilting that pelvis and then slowly lifting up lower, middle and upper back. And then see if you can interlace the fingers underneath you. Bring the upper arms together. And then exhale 1. Inhale, lifting the pelvis. Exhale 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathe. If this is too difficult, you can always place a block or some padding underneath the hips. But we're only staying here for 5 breaths. Last breath. Squeeze the glutes if you can, lift a little higher. And then exhale, coming down. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a great big hug. And then when you're ready, have a rock and roll on your spine, massaging the length of your spine. Inhale, exhale up, inhale, rock back. Exhale, rock up, and then finally, you're gonna rock up to sit with the legs extended in front of you. Bring the sole of the right foot, into the left inner thigh. I'm just gonna take a forward fold and stretch out the calf muscles, the hamstrings in this leg. Maybe you're grabbing hold of the calf, the ankle, the outer foot. Just 3 breaths here, breathing in, breathing out 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale. And then see if you can fold a little bit deeper for 3. And then bring that right knee out to the right a little more. Then right arm reaches up and over. See if you can just stretch just here for 3 breaths. Inhaling. Exhale 1. Breathing in. The target area is the right side body, those intercostal muscles, the spaces between the ribs. Exhale 2. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the body down a little bit more for 3. Inhale, slowly coming up, and we'll take the other side. So I'm going to stretch that right leg out this time. Bring the sole of the left foot to the right inner thigh. And then the body's going to fold over this extended leg to stretch out the hamstrings here. 1. Again, holding the calf, the ankle, the foot. We could even take a blanket or a block, wrap it around if you're not quite getting there. 1. Anything to help lengthen the arms. Exhale 2. Breathing in. Breathing out for 3. Inhale, slowly bringing the body up. And then maybe widening the position of the legs just a little bit. And then the left arm this time comes all the way up and over. Just for 3 breaths. 1. Inhale, so noticing how it's feeling on the left side of the body this time. Exhale 2. Inhale. And curving a little bit deeper for 3. Inhale, slowly coming up. And it's always lovely to finish a class with an inversion. So we've got a nice little inversion here. Obviously very passive. Nice and relaxing, nothing too taxing on the body. You can either choose to put your legs up against a wall if you have a wall near you, but if you don't, and you've got a bolster or a couple of cushions, it's really nice to have something that some people call Waterfall Pose. It's lovely, like this. Just having the legs up. The sacrum is on a bolster or some kind of support. And just remain here for a few breaths. As you relax the jaw, the face, we're winding down the practice now. Slowly breathing, allowing the breath to breathe the body now rather than forcing the breath in any way, shape or form. You can choose to close the eyes. Just enjoying that feeling of weightlessness, the legs being higher than the torso for a change. can either stay here or maybe bend your knees, giving yourself a little hug. Something like a little slug pose. Compressing the organs, quite nice, giving them a little massage. And then from here, it's a really nice way to make your way into Shavasana, just by moving the bolster away from you and leaving it there for the knees, maybe. To have a little supported Shavasana here. The Shavasana is important. Don't skip it if you don't have to. Continuing to soften, just melting into the mat. Just remain here for as long as you can in your Shavasana. Containing that inner peace, allowing it to flow through the body. Using this time to nourish yourself and re-energize yourself. Nice little battery recharge. So you can choose here to stay a bit longer if you can, otherwise slowly bring the arms up overhead, pointing and flexing the feet as you reawake the body for maybe the second time today, and slowly coming up to sit, hands at the heart center, making that connection, showing yourself love and compassion for all the things you do as a working mum. Namaste.